Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for when you come to them. For the tarot portion, I'm going to use the Idyllis Tarot, which is a smaller deck, but it's easy to shuffle, and I like the images on it. It is an Omnido. That's the creator, Omnido. There's this information with the what do we call it? I can't. My brain is not telling me what that's called, but put your camera thing on that or push that button, however that works, and you can find it. There's also the information there. I believe that they're just on Instagram. I found this deck on Amazon, I want to say. So if you're interested, go ahead and check that out. The oracle cards I'm going to use for this one is the Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. The website, where is Sandra's website? I want to say she has her own website, but here's the Hay House website on the bottom, just below her picture. And I thought she had her own, maybe I'm mistaken. But yeah, I thought there was more websites. Maybe not. Oh, there they are. A bunch of Hay House websites. There they are, at the bottom. Okay, and last but not least, the dice I use a 21-sided dice for the major arcana, which does omit the Fool, but I make it work. And I believe that one is from this website, Tom Anders, and there's the information there if it focuses. If it's easier, here's another one of those. Oh, my brain cannot remember what you call that thing, but there it is. For the minor arcana, I use a 14-sided dice to choose the actual card, and then a 4-sided dice to choose the element. And the 14-sided dice came from here. I've had the 4-sided dice for the longest time. I couldn't tell you where they came from. I want to say it was Math Art Fun. Can't really see it here. Hopefully you can see it. mathartfun.com. All right, and that's what we have for that. Of course, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much, and let's go on to your read. Hello, Taurus. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we got for Taurus? Why do we... Come on. We're gonna... Oh, one more. Okay. So there's cards falling out, and I don't want to do it, but I am. So... Alright. We'll find out what they are in a minute. I don't know why I'm so adverse to it. I'm usually not that adverse to cards falling out of the deck, but we'll find out in a minute. We like that. Are we done? Another card. Why are these cards coming out? They're fine. It's fine. Well, they're not bad. I don't know. I feel like there's something random with this situation, and I don't want to be annoyed with it, but I feel like I am. I feel like I am. Okay, I think these are all people around this situation. There's 4 cards face down, and it really does aggravate me because I feel like things keep coming at you. And it's a lot going on at once, and I'm trying to make things work out. You got the 9 of Wands. You're trying to hold it together. And you've been fairly successful with this, but it's kind of like... This might be one of those situations where we've been robbing Peter to pay Paul. Is there a better way to say that? We take from one person to give to somebody else, and then we take from some... And we just keep... it's just like... I don't have time to do this, so I just feel like I keep having to move this around, and I can't do that as well as I need to, and I'm like, I don't have a choice, and it's really frustrating. You've been trying to hold it together, and it's kind of like, I don't like how it's working. I don't like that it's going like this. I don't like that it's not working correctly. And I'm trying to make it make sense, and I keep thinking I have to go back and fix all this stuff, but I can't. It's a frustrating situation, but you've been doing it for a while. I keep getting like a very busy mom. And it could be any gender, maybe a busy parent, it could be any gender, like somebody who's taking care of all these different people. And it's kind of like if you had a bunch of kids and work and other responsibilities and animals, and you're like, I have all these things that I have to take care of, I have to do these certain things. Like, they have to eat. They have to make sure this. I have to do this. I have to make sure that. And I just don't have the luxury of making sure it's all done to the quality that I want. But I've been succeeding thus far. I'm trying to do all that. I'm trying to do all that. And I have to let go of some things. And it's hard. It's coming up because I feel like whatever is going on here, it's of heavy value to you. One of the reasons you keep going along with it and keep pushing and keep trying to make the best of it, even though you don't like the way it's going, is because it means a lot to you. And it's kind of like, this is just how it's shaped up. There's just so much going on. I don't want it to fail, so I keep fighting forward, and I keep fighting forward because I don't want it to fail. And I know that Taurus can take a lot. Like, Taurus can take on a lot. I know that. But we're coming up to this next phase. And there's a change coming. There's a change coming. Okay. Queen of Swords shows up. There's a change coming. Something is being taken away. Taurus is not usually a fan of that. Even if it's something you don't like, people taking things from you is not usually, like, really well welcomed. It's kind of like, yeah, but I had that under control. Somebody's taking on one of these responsibilities, and somebody's taking something away. It upsets your balance. I think that's the problem. It's not that you don't welcome help, it's just the way it's coming in. It's just like, so if we're going to do like the busy parent with all the kids, it's kind of like somebody's deciding, oh, you know, I'll take care of this kid. I'll go pick them up from school, and I'll do all this stuff, and I'll take care of all this stuff. Sounds great. But either they've mentioned it just in passing, and you weren't sure if they were actually going to do it, or if they were considering doing it, and like, you still have this built in your schedule to take care of this kid, pick this kid up, and do all this stuff. And then you're like, where's this kid? And they're like, where's the kid? Where's the kid? And you're like looking for the kid, and then you're finally finding out an hour later, oh, the Queen of Swords picked up that kid and is taking care of all that. It's kind of like, well, if you let me know, I could have used that time, but now it just took up 3 times as much time as it normally would have because I didn't know that you were actually going to do that. I thought you were just considering it. I didn't know that you actually had committed to that. All right, so that's one level. Woo, that's a lot, because I feel like that's a lot. More information coming. There's a lot of people talking around you. And I feel like I'm not realizing, I don't feel completely confident that what they're saying they're going to do. I feel like they're considering. And there's probably a history to that. There's a history to that is the reason you're thinking that, if this is hitting. Somebody random. You got the Temperance card, half in, half out. So Temperance can be a very random card. They do a little bit of everything. When that energy is in focus, in alignment, it can be great because it gets things done. It gets a lot done. When it's kind of like half in, half out, it's kind of like, are you going to do it? Are you not going to do it? Are you just going to do part of it and walk away? This is somebody who brings in a lot of information. Somebody else trying to take over some of this responsibility, and they leave half of it undone. It's kind of like, it's like somebody making a sandwich, and they butter the bread, and then they just forget what they're doing, and they just leave it on the counter, and they go do something else. They get to the point where they're going to make the sandwich, and they get the bread out, and they butter the bread, wherever they're going to do that, and that's it. And they just kind of walk away from it. That's another level. That's a lot. We're going to go to this one next. There's a lot coming. You got a lot of communication coming at you. You got another sword. You got the queen. You got the ace. And now you got the king. What is this one doing? Somebody else is coming in to make decisions. It's just coming at you from all angles here, isn't it? If this is hitting, I understand now why these cards were aggravating me when I was seeing them, because even though they were face down, I kept getting so aggravated. And I'm just like, why are these cards here? People just keep getting in your business, and they're not really helping. Or are they? That's the question. In the long term, this can go better for you. It's just like, this seems to be bringing down the house, this whole thing. This person, this King of Swords with the Peace, and then the Ten of Cups, and then the the Temperance card. It's not looking good. It's going a little worse. Somebody else is kind of getting this other person involved, saying that you need help. And this person is kind of like coming in to tell you how things are going to go from now on. Somebody's going to try to tell, okay, we're just going to go with the reading. This person's trying to tell you how it's going to go. And they're like, well, this is how this needs to go, Taurus, because clearly you're dropping plates all over the place. Things aren't working out. So, and it's kind of like, well, yeah, because I have crazy people trying to help me and not really helping, or not telling me what they're actually going to do, and I have to guess what they're going to do. So, yeah, I guess it is falling apart, but I wouldn't say it was my fault. Not yet for that one. Okay, so the situation that you've been putting a lot of work in, and you've been making it work out, you've been doing everything to just, it's not been the best, but it's been sustainable. That's going to stop. This is like a hard, like, all right, we had one day that was really, really bad, and somebody else stepped in and said, well, Taurus, this clearly isn't working. We're going to have to rebuild the whole situation because it just didn't work. It's like a hard stop here. It stops really fast. This is very, very stressful for you. Is there any advice for that? Like, it's a hard stop. It's a hard stop. It's for the best. You don't like it, you're gonna be upset. If this hits, this is gonna be one of those moments where you might have a moment, if you know what I mean. Even Taurus can only take so much before they've had enough and they. So this might be a moment where you actually lose your cool. They're just giving you a heads up on that. You might need a moment to step away and kind of like. It's almost like I'm going to delineate all my responsibilities. So for example, if you're a parent with 5 kids, somebody else is watching those kids for maybe an hour or two, and you're just going to go off by yourself and just relax and just maybe have your favorite donut or something and just try to just be happy, not happy. Try to just exist in your own peace for a minute. Because this is going to make you mad. This is going to definitely make you mad because the situation did crash and burn. But it's kind of like, this isn't my fault. You all got in my way and screwed up the whole system, and now you're looking at me like it's my fault? How's it my fault when you all are crazy? Y'all crazy. Because y'all crazy. That's why this happened. This is ironic, but you have a better day coming in. You got the sunny day coming in. Much better things are coming in. It's very painful the way this is coming to a crashing halt. It is very painful. If this reading is hitting, this is in no version an enjoyable moment. But it's like it all happens so fast. It's like Tuesday, it all crash and burns. Wednesday, everything starts going a lot better. And other people are stepping in and taking over a lot of the responsibilities. And I feel like you're kind of like, okay, so what do you want me to do? Everybody else is taking responsibilities. And it's like, all these things that you had to do, like it was all on you. It's kind of like, you're okay. What am I doing? So what am I doing? So like you all are doing everything now. Everything I used to do, everybody else is doing something. Which is weird, because you did need a break, but it's kind of like, okay, now everybody's doing it, and this whole new way is coming in. And okay, now what? I feel like this is like a shell shock moment, kind of like, I feel like Taurus is a worker. Taurus likes to be a part of things, and I feel like at first it's like, I didn't want none of it. I just wanted some help, or like, this is not what I wanted. This is not how I wanted this to go. I didn't want everybody to take all my responsibilities and leave me with nothing. I wanted things to go differently, but not like this. You're going to have a moment here where you have a chance for your life to be a lot more comfortable. You deserve a happier life. You deserve things to make more sense. You can stay connected with things, definitely, but oversee it and not do it is hard, is what I'm getting. To make sure that things are working out and not just go do it yourself, whatever that means for you, that seems to be hard, especially when you're used to it. It's like that crazy chaos, that busyness, you got really used to it, and now that it's not there, it just feels like something is wrong. And I feel like that's a thing. It's kind of like you were the King of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, whatever you want to call it. Not that gender matters, but you were the leader. You were getting everything done, and now you're the page, and you're like, oh, what? Part of this is going to make you annoyed, kind of like, did you all think I couldn't handle my responsibilities? That's not the truth. They're saying to realize that that's not the truth. The advice here is to fight it. People know why things went where they went. Other people in their poor communication, I do think that that's a big piece of why things failed. It definitely was a communication issue. Something with communication is why things went where they went. The ironic thing is they're saying, in your best interest, don't fight to make sure that people know that you didn't screw this up. They know. That's hard to not. But I feel like what you're going to do, take it with a grain of salt. You're never going to be happy. There's nothing they can do to convince you that they understand that it wasn't your fault. So they're saying it's better to not go down that road if you can help it. But then again, it's your business if you do or not. The advice here is to enjoy the change and enjoy your time with people you want to enjoy your time with. So for example, we're going to talk about that parent with the 5 kids and all the other good stuff. Create moments where you can enjoy them. Maybe if you have the free time now, reconnect with literal friends that you haven't seen in a while, other family members, other people you want to hang out with. Take this moment and fill your life with the things that you want in it and enjoy it. Enjoy it as much as you can. You do seem to have a choice here to either go towards it and make sure people understand it wasn't your fault, because I feel like you are still aggravated, or go towards the friendship energy, enjoy that time, and I feel like people are going to acknowledge that clearly wasn't your fault. But you can have a better life. You can have better things in your life. It's making that conscious choice and going towards it for your own happiness. Now, going forward after this, I do think that things are going to try to come back in. Things are going to try to come back in. What is that? The Page of Wands and the well-being. At this stage in the game, I mean, it's a general read, to take it with a grain of salt. When people want things from you, if you get into this part where you have friends and you're connecting with people the way you want, the first step is to try to get people to help themselves. Try to empower people and try to teach people to help themselves. You know that old adage, how does that go? You give somebody a fish, they eat for today. You teach them to fish, they eat for a lifetime. So try to encourage people to help themselves, and when they can't, maybe they don't have the knowledge, teach them how to do it, but make them do it for themselves as you're teaching them. And keep that energy up, because your life can be a lot more enjoyable by doing that. It's for their well-being. They're just going to randomly come towards you, but for their well-being, teach them and encourage them to help themselves. So for example, maybe they can't get a ride to school. All right, let's see, what other options do they have? Teach them to talk to your friends. How are they getting to school? Maybe we can it's almost like, instead of you taking everybody to school every day, maybe once every 2 to 3 days, maybe 4 days, maybe you share in the carpool. Maybe every now and then you're like, well, you know what, how about you start trying to take the bus? Let's try that and see how that goes. Stuff like that. Encourage them to help themselves, teach them to help themselves. The advice here, I feel like you'll get used to it. It's a very odd card, but it's compatible with Taurus because it's an Earth card. You got the Devil card there. which talks about boundaries, talks about strict boundaries. And I'm getting, once you get this part of your life going, if you choose that path to enjoy your life more, you can keep it, and you should keep it. Teaching other people and encouraging other people to help themselves is a good thing. Sometimes there's a lot of spiritual growth in doing just that, empowering other people, and teaching other people to do for themselves and not doing it for them. There's a lot of spiritual growth in that, especially for people who are used to doing it for other people, if that makes sense. If you're a person who constantly does that, and you constantly help other people, and you constantly do for them, to step back and to not allow yourself to do that, there's a lot of spiritual growth in that. And you are very helpful to those other people when you empower them. You can be a lot happier. You got the success card and you got the Nine of Pentacles. You can have a lot better life here for you. You can enjoy a lot more holding those lines. You're always going to look out for other people. You're always going to look out for the people who matter. But if you start building this energy of where, you know what, if I have to help you, I will help you, but I'm going to teach you how to help yourself while I'm helping you. And there's a time limit on this. I'm not doing it for the rest of my life. And if you can do it yourself, I'm going to encourage you and remind you how you could do it yourself. I feel like this might be for a literal parent. I keep getting that analogy. It's kind of like, all right, it's time to where now we need to kind of push it back and get people to do for themselves a little bit more. Kind of like, we already had this moment where it all fell inwards. All right, I'm not going through that again. So instead of going back into that energy, what we're going to do is we're going to teach y'all how to take care of yourselves. I mean, you'll always be there to support, and you'll never let anybody completely fail. They know that, you know that. So there's no harm in doing it this way if you decide to go that path. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.